So, do you like watching scary things, or what's your relationship with scary movies?
I do. I love scary movies, and I see them so much that I'm a little bit jaded. It kind of takes a lot to scare me now. So I like throwing on a scary movie and going like, okay, come at me. Let me see what you can do, you know.
So what do you find most scary? Like the things that you don't see, that you think are there, or the things that you actually
I think it's more the things that you don't see for me. I think it's more the psychological horror. I think it's when things just get under your skin. It can be something as simple as the music, you know, like that can be scary, or the way silence is used. You know, I find it really fascinating the way that something can kind of play with our minds, that you don't even know what's happening, but you feel something foreboding within you.
And when you're playing someone that's scared all the time, you kind of have to feel scared too, I guess, as an actor.
Yeah.
Do you think about scary things, or how do you get into that kind of mode?
It's tough. You know, I'd say it's one of the hardest things to kind of manifest, because, you know, when you're doing an emotional scene or something, you can kind of draw something from your memory, but not many of us have been in a situation as scary as what Michelle is going through in the film, and I certainly haven't. So you do kind of have to use your imagination a little bit more, you know, and actually put yourself in the situation and think about the way that you would react. And sometimes I have to, you know, I have to do things physically, like to get myself ramped up to just be in that kind of heightened, hyperventilating kind of state.
And you had to do that for a long time.
Yes.
During the whole filming, you had to be scared.
Yes.
Is that like emotionally exhausting?
It is, yeah. It's kind of emotionally and physically draining at the end of the day, you know, just keeping yourself in that heightened state all day long for such a long period of time. But it is fun too, you know. It's a fun. It's certainly not boring. I'll say that.
Do you believe in supernatural things, or what's your relationship to that?
I'm sort of, I guess, a skeptical, open mind, if that makes any sense. I definitely think that a lot of things are possible, but I'm not one to jump into believing anything right away. I like to hold back a little bit.
So what scares you the most these days? Just like in general, what is a scary thought for you?
Gosh, I guess, you know, I guess I'm to the point where, you know, I'm afraid of like not reaching my potential, you know, as a person, and not growing and continuing to grow as I get older and learning. I don't know, that maybe sounds really pretentious, but that's kind of, that's a current fear of mine in my life.
But you've chosen an occupation, but I mean, being an actor must be very scary. Being scary, just being in front of a camera and doing things, and being scary of not knowing when the next job is going to be there.
Yeah, that's always scary. But I guess for me, I've been doing it since I was a kid, so it's so a part of my life that's not so scary to me. It does get like a little bit scarier as you go on. You start, you know, the more stuff you do and the more, you know, films that you do that are on a bigger scale, you know, you worry about like, are you going to be able to keep that up, and are you going to be able to keep working at that level? And so those are all those fears come into play. But at the end of the day, this is what I do, you know, and that's what I've always done. So you just kind of keep trucking.
Great, thank you so much. That was so.
I knew this day would come. It's not safe out there.